Part 83. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 821. Chapter 821, I feel that this fruit is very unusual. Speaking of which, the president has been giving out a lot of benefits recently, so it won't be a good thing. Tisk, what a good thing, I understand everything, I won't say it. Prodigal Sword Boss, you seem to know something inside, is there really something? Ahem, we are not sure about this matter, but all in all, there must be something good about the president giving out benefits so often. Wow, I am getting more and more curious when you say that. If you don't want to say it, then don't arouse people's curiosity, now you don't continue halfway through the words, and you're angry. At this moment, the curiosity of everyone in the Xiao organization was aroused, and they were curious about what was going on, what happened. As for this matter, of course, Xiao Chang'an, Baiyu, and others all guessed it. Killing the gods, of course. But in fact, the guess is not right or wrong. Lu Shu was also fine at this time, looking at the screen in the guild. When he saw the message sent by Xiao Chang'an and others, he couldn't help but smile and said, "It seems that these guys are still sharp-hearted, and they have already guessed that I am the God Eater." Of course, as for whether this group of people guessed that they were tree people, then there is no way to know. But with Lu Shu's current realm, he can also feel that there should be some bigwigs in the Xiao organization who can guess their identities. But they were sensible and did not choose to speak out. Lu Shu will not be afraid that his identity will really be exposed, anyway, they are all from the same guild and have a confidentiality contract. But he was not interested in revealing his identity directly. Let the members guess for themselves. The answers that you can find on your own are the most interesting. That's when 2 prompts suddenly popped up in front of Lu Shu. Ding, you have obtained the Divine Power Fruit X1. Ding, you have obtained the Divine Domain Exercise Fruit X1. The Divine Tree suddenly erupted with a burst of brilliant light. 2 golden fruits, growing. Divine Power Fruit. Divine Domain Exercise Fruit. 2 different fruits, both growing. Lu Shu's eyes lit up, and he immediately picked these fruits. And then they planted it in the land. Don't forget. There is also the talent of spring revival that can be used. Although the fruit is indeed ripe, you should not rush to eat it immediately, but choose to maximize the benefits. After the divine tree has reached the level of the junior divine tree, you only need to plant the fruit, and in less than a second, the subspecies spirit tree will rise from the ground. Meanwhile, the fruits above are all ripe. Ding, your divine power fruit tree has reached its production cycle, divine power fruit add 100. Ding, your divine domain exercise fruit tree has reached its production cycle, divine power fruit add 100. Looking at the top of the subspecies spirit tree, it is full of fruits. Lu Shu couldn't help but sigh from the bottom of his heart. The talent of spring recovery is really useful. If there is no such talent, then I'm afraid that the Xiao organization will not be so easy to develop, and I will not be so easy to reach the point where I am today. Now, the divine power of the divine tree has reached a very majestic level, which is enough for the subspecies spirit tree to skip the production stage and directly produce these fruits. Tut tut, it's actually a divine power fruit. I feel that this fruit is very unusual. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 822. Chapter 822 is not an ordinary fruit. Harness the power of incomparably powerful psychic perception. In less than a second, Lu Shu was already able to perceive that the divine power fruit was not an ordinary fruit. It's the same as the name of this fruit. The fruit of divine power is the fruit of divinity. But this kind of divinity is incomparably pure. Compared to the divinity on Luo Shui's body, it is not allowed at all. In the divine tree world, All the skills related to divinity are currently 100, whether it is ability, equipment, or any attribute related to divinity. Almost all of them are obtained within the gray realm. Never. I have never heard of any divine tree master who can rely on the divine tree he planted to directly obtain the ability of divinity. If there really is such a god-rebellious divine tree master, then the second place will not be the turn of the mysterious pavilion master of the Dusk Rain Pavilion. However, now, Lu Shu's divine tree has reached this level. It can produce fruits related to divinity. This, if it spreads, will definitely create another history of the divine tree world again. This divine fruit is quite interesting, it actually contains such majestic divine power. I feel like if I swallow it, then I should be able to get a breakthrough, right? Lu Shu said secretly in his heart. That's when he swallowed the fruit of divine power. Soon, a majestic divinity suddenly penetrated the whole body, moisturizing the internal organs. Lu Shu felt as if some kind of wonderful change had taken place in his body. It's like a complete sublimation. The whole person, as if he had ascended to the immortal, fell into an ethereal state, which was extremely wonderful. It's so moisturizing. Lu Shu was bathed in the empowerment of divinity, and he couldn't help but feel extremely refreshed. It is as if the cells in the whole body have undergone a baptism and transformation, and have become completely different from mortals. This moment, Lu Shu's front kept popping up one prompt after another. You have swallowed the fruit of divinity. Divine power at 9999. Divine power at 10086. Divine power at 23333. The terrifying divine power directly became part of Lu Shu's ability. Moreover, this divine power is still fused with different abilities such as Dao patterns and realms, and it has become more powerful. It's like trading stocks, everyone puts all the stocks in one basket and makes a fortune and becomes stronger together. Lu Shu suddenly felt that his strength was growing rapidly, and his divine power made every ability sublimated and transformed, and he was able to burst out with abilities that were completely different from before. My current Dao pattern and realm, after fusing this divine power, have improved their attributes. Each realm, now when it is used alone, is completely capable of dealing with the strength of a first-order true god. It's equivalent to becoming a god by the word. Although I have entered the realm of the true god before, my material foundation has not kept up. Even if I have enough Dao perception, I must have enough energy to support 3.2 to use this power and completely transform into the person of a true god. But now, after swallowing the divine power fruit, each of these realms has a godhead. I have a total of 9 different godheads in my body now, and each godhead has the power of a first-order god. When the 9 godheads are fused together, the ability to burst out will be even more powerful. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 823. Chapter 823, Another Fruit. Now, Lu Shu is full of strong self-confidence in himself. This is because of the improvement of strength, and the guarantee brought to yourself. It can be said that the current Lu Shu, even if he doesn't use any artifact, doesn't use the power of the world's origin. With these fields alone, it is enough to have the power to fight with Luo Shui. Not to mention, now with the blessing of various foreign objects such as artifacts, Lu Shu's strength will only become stronger. After all, the previous Lu Shu was not even as powerful as a god, and he was naturally tied up when he fought. If it weren't for the divine lock, which limited Luo Shui's divinity, he wouldn't have been so easy. 18 He could defeat Luo Shui with divine power. But now, Lu Shu also has divine powers. After swallowing the divine fruit, although the divine essence in his body has not yet reached the terrifying level of Luo Shui. However, This divine power is like a pass, which can directly make Lu Shu's artifact further burst out with stronger strength. Don't say it's Luoshui. Even if it is 10 Luoshui combined, I am afraid that it is not enough for Lu Shu to fight now. This is the transformation of one's own life level after the improvement of divine power. It is no longer among ordinary beings. Reaching such a realm, he can already turn his hands and evolve supernatural powers, with terrifying lethality. By the way, these little guys seem to be able to swallow the divine fruit too. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. Think about it. These little guys haven't had the ability to improve their bloodline for a long time. But this idea, Lu Shu still put it behind. After all, after the current divine power fruit was swallowed by himself, the number was completely insufficient to distribute to these little guys. And after Lu Shu swallowed a few divine fruits again, the divinity of this fruit had almost been absorbed. After reaching the same level, the power that the divine fruit can exert is not so powerful. The promotion of Lu Shu is not as obvious as the first one. The main thing is that these little guys on the Divine Tree Island, there are too many of them, and such a little divine fruit is not enough at all. It seems like we'll have to wait until next time. When the fruit of divinity is produced again, it will be possible to see if it is enough. That's right. The fruit of divinity has been produced. Then, inside my system panel, there should be another production thing. Lu Shu patted his head, and then thought of a very critical question. His mind immediately moved slightly. Soon, an interface suddenly popped up in front of Lu Shu, which was particularly dazzling. Sacred Tree. Stage, Elementary Divine Tree. Sunlight, 10010/day, 100.1x100. Aura, 10040/day, 100.4x100. Product, Shenli Fruit 800 Real x3, Wood Buddha Fruit. Growth Point, 202.0.140, 201.4x100 20140/day. Next stage, Intermediate Divine Tree, 10 million growth points. See this panel. Lu Shu also knew what the next product would be from the product column. By the time of the Divine Tree, the interval between each product had been shortened to a week. Other words, by next week, Lu Shu will be able to harvest 3 divine power fruits. Compared to the first production of 1 divine power fruit, 3 divine power fruits, that's a lot. And another fruit is also included. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 824. Chapter 824, Divine Domain Exercise Fruit. That's right. This fruit is the fruit of the Divine Domain exercises. As the name suggests, if you swallow the fruit of the Divine Domain exercises, the effect should be that you can obtain a Divine Domain exercises. But what exactly is the exercise? That's a bit of a clue. Give it a try. Lu Shu's gaze moved slightly, and then he threw this Divine Domain exercise fruit to the innermost. Savor it. I have to say that the taste of the fruit of the Divine Domain exercises is like heaven and earth, which is difficult to describe. It's definitely not something that can be tasted in the world. The taste of the ingredients alone is enough to outstand. It seems that there is no need for any cooking, just to enjoy the most original fruit taste, which is enough to conquer the taste buds of most people. It tastes so good. Lu Shu closed his eyes, revealing a look of enjoyment and intoxication. Next second, in his mind, there was an extra exercise. Taking sword technique. In Lu Shu's sea of knowledge, there were suddenly lines of golden words one after another. These fonts are like swimming dragons, as if they contain the meaning of a dragon's sword. The pen of this font alone contains a good meaning of kendo. It's like being connected to the ultimate avenue. It is enough to see. The power to be able to make this cheats is definitely not a simple character. The way of the sword, the way of the 10,000. This powerful calligraphy can be integrated with the way of the sword. If you look directly at the font, you will feel a tingling sensation in your eyes. It's as if a sword is coming towards his eyes. Of course, Lu Shu himself also has a good kendo attainment, so he can look directly at this cheat. Somewhat similar to a threshold. Only when you reach the threshold can you observe this cheat. Otherwise, if the Tao is not enough, forcibly learning is just looking for death. In the kendo font, the sword intent contained in it is the threshold that forces those who can't learn to be high. It acts as a protective mechanism. Prevent people who are not qualified from forcibly learning the contents of the sword technique, which will lead to the occurrence of demons. But Lu Shu's own attainments in the way of the sword are already high enough. Flip through this sword trick. Except for the beginning, there will be a little uncomfortable feeling, but soon immerse yourself and comprehend the sword intent contained in the font. Just the first realization, there is a good harvest. Lu Shu suddenly felt as if he was conceived in a world composed of swordsmanship. The sword intent that filled the sky seemed to lead straight to the supreme avenue, to break through the sky. It's worthy of the exercises of the divine domain, it's really powerful. Lu Shu closed his eyes, recalled this insight, and couldn't help but sigh from the bottom of his heart. This sword technique, even for the current self, can play a very good role in improving the Dao. Therefore, you only need to carefully comprehend. If you can follow the sword technique, you can cultivate to an extremely high level. What about Li Li's? Maybe his kendo attainments can also reach the realm of gods. Luo Shui's ruthless sword required a great price to launch an extreme attack. But if Lu Shu can cultivate the taking sword technique to an extremely high level, similar to Luo Shui's ruthless sword, for him, it is just something that Pinga can do. Yes, it seems that I have to take a closer look at this sword trick next. Lu Shu said secretly in his heart. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 825. Chapter 825 Ding, Xiao Organization President invites you to trade. Next. There are still 99 Divine Domain exercise fruits, which I haven't swallowed yet. Is it possible that every time you swallow one, you can get the Divine Domain exercises? Will there be a different technique from the taking sword technique? Lu Shu couldn't help but have a guess in his heart. But, as for whether this is the case or not, in fact, the verification method is also very simple. That is, after eating a Divine Domain exercise fruit again, you will know what is going on. As the saying goes, practice makes sense. Anyway, with so many Divine Domain exercise fruits in his hand, it doesn't seem to be a particularly unacceptable thing to consume such 240 to conduct experiments. Soon. Lu Shu put the next Divine Domain exercise fruit in his mouth. Chew again and swallow into your belly. However, there are no extra exercises. The exercises that come to mind are still taking sword technique. It turns out that the exercises and fruits cultivated by the subspecies spirit tree are all of the same origin. Only the fruit of the exercises produced by the divine tree is a blind box, but after planting, the exercises that can be opened are the same. This is also because the subspecies spirit tree is different from the extreme of the divine tree. The interior of the sacred tree contains the power of divinity, and the fruits produced have infinite possibilities. However, the subspecies spirit tree is a complete replica and does not have infinite possibilities. So, the fruits of the divine domain exercises that are produced are all the same, and there will be no changes. Lu Shu couldn't help but feel a little pity in his heart. So, the remaining divine domain exercise fruits didn't have much effect on themselves. In other words, after Lu Shu eats it, the cheats he gets are the same, and there is no need for this at all. I feel that this extra divine domain exercise fruit has not improved me much. But, since there are more of these fruits, it is good to give them to the members of the guild as a resource. Now the core members of the organization are all very loyal. If their strength is improved, it is actually indirectly equivalent to their own strength being improved. The development of the Xiao organization is also a sure profit for the current Lu Shu. Those guys, it seems like they've been doing a lot lately. I have gained a lot in the ruins of the Law God, and I have become a quasi-god level. They only need to be pushed by something again, and then they can make their strength reach the true god level realm. Well, anyway, my current strength has long surpassed that of an ordinary god. In the current divine tree world, there should also be some god level powerhouses in batches. Lu Shu said secretly in his heart. Subsequently, he opened the chat panel and called over the dozen or so core members. Then, as usual, he opened the trading panel and teleported more than a dozen divine power fruits and divine domain exercise fruits. Now, the members of the Akatsuki organization are eagerly discussing the invasion of the Grey Realm on their sacred tree island. That's when, in front of Xiao Chang'an and the others, a prompt popped up. Ding, Xiao Organization President invites you to trade. When you see this line of subtitles, the core members were shocked and knew that there were benefits coming again. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 826. Chapter 826, The Transaction Invitation Sent by Lu Shu. Now, all the core members of the Xiao organization have received an invitation from a core group. This group, at present, only Xiao Chang'an, Baiyu, Prodigal Sword, and other core members who have entered the ruins of the Law God. It also includes the Dark Knight and the Fish Mystery that went past together and fought side by side. Ding, the Divine Tree Master you invited, Baiyu, join the chat group. Ding, the Divine Tree Master you invited, Xiao Chang'an, join the chat group. Ding, the Divine Tree Master you invited, the Prodigal Son Sword, has joined the chat group. Ding, the Divine Tree Master you invited, Dark Knight, join the chat group. Ding, the Divine Tree Master you invited, Yusuanji, join the chat group. The core members of the Xiao organization, the moment they joined this group, they all had wonderful expressions on their faces. None of them expected. I actually joined an exclusive group. It seems that this group is only exclusive to their core members, and the other members do not have this qualification. For Xiao Chang'an and others, it was naturally extremely honorable to be able to join the small group of the president of the Xiao organization. Because this is a place where members with core qualifications can join. It also shows that they have been approved by the president. Ha ha ha, I didn't expect the president to create such a small group, so wouldn't we be able to communicate unhindered here? The Prodigal Son Sword was excited, and he was the first to jump out and speak. Well, it's surprising that the president has set up a small group. And exclusive perks. Anna saw an invitation to a trading panel pop up in front of her, and her heart immediately moved. The president is so good to us that he even gave us benefits. Xiao Chang'an came out and said. That's when Lu Shu also came out to speak. Well, your strength has reached a relatively strong stage, and the Akatsuki organization is. Due to its relatively loose and free mechanism. The other members who joined in just let them choose to complete some tasks. Although I screened them, the people were still quite messy, and some people didn't know what they thought specifically. Even if there is a restriction of the demon contract, but now that the Divine Tree Master has many means, no one knows if he can bypass the restrictions of the contract and leak the situation of the Xiao organization. So, I created such a small group to make it easier for you to communicate. As for whether others can join in, I will continue to evaluate them. This approach has also been recognized by the core members present. Truly, they know a lot of things, and sometimes they want to discuss them together, but it's inconvenient to say these things on the public screen. In large groups, the members are more restrained, and they either turn a blind eye to some information they know, or they all mention a few words very vaguely, but they don't say much. Therefore, Lu Shu also knew that this group of core members needed a place. Otherwise, it is not conducive to the members of the guild to make do with the notifications all the time. Such a small group was specially built to facilitate direct communication with this group of core members. Now, the core members of the Xiao organization have all received the transaction invitation sent by Lu Shu. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 827. Chapter 827, The Second Divine Tree Master to Become a God. Wow, it looks like the President is going to give us benefits again. The President is so good to us. After eating the fruit of the President, then you must serve the organization wholeheartedly. The core members of this group suddenly felt like little tigers waiting to be fed, and they couldn't wait for the fruit. Okay, you guys have already eaten my 96 and less fruits, and you are still so outside. Lu Shu scolded with a smile, and then sent all the fruits over. Next second. Almost neatly in a second. All the core members of the Xiao organization have accepted the trading interface. Now, everyone has already obtained the Divine Power Fruit and the Divine Domain Exercise Fruit. Through the information displayed above the interface, you can see the name of the fruit. But what exactly it will do, it is not known. Xiao Chang'an, President, have you reached the level of the Divine Tree, this Divine Power Fruit, could it be related to divinity? Prodigal Son, my God, the President has already reached the realm of gods. By you, he is worthy of being the most powerful president in the world, and he has reached this level. Anna, wow, wow, wow. It turned out to be a fruit of divine power. Can you really become a god if you eat it? President of the Xiao organization, okay, I'm not as powerful as you blow, this divine power fruit can only make your divinity grow, but it can't become a god immediately. Whether or not you can become a god depends on your own creation. Xiao Chang'an, I see. Su Qing, this is just the president's humble statement. NLE, I've already eaten it, what is this godhead, I seem to have really become a god. The prodigal son. By you, is it really fake, can you really become an immortal by eating the fruit of the president? NLE, it's true, I seem to have been certified by the godhead, but what I have condensed is the godhead of the thunder system. NLE sent a memory video. Everyone was moved, and immediately opened the memory video. That's right. The content in the video is exactly what has happened to an LE. In the midst of an island full of dreams, an LE was bathed in extremely powerful thunder light. Next second, these thunder rays actually fused with the brilliance of divinity, bursting out with a light that no one here could imagine. At that moment, Enli's head had an extra mark like a thunder god, and it became majestic. Unimaginable. Such a powerful sense of coercion would be revealed from a girl's face. I see. After Lu Shu opened the memory video, he finished reading the content inside, revealing a look of sudden realization. An LE had previously received a legacy from a thunder god messenger from the divine domain. At that time, the lower limit of 3.7 was to be able to get the Thor realm. However, after merging with the divine power fruit, the potential of Thor's legacy has been completely unleashed. Now, an LE has been certified by the Godhead, and it is precisely because Lu Shu asked her to attack the Thor inheritance before, and everything she got was obtained. What everyone didn't expect was, an LE will actually become the second divine tree master to become a god in the Xiao organization. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 828. Chapter 828 is also time for you to know some information. Wow, I didn't expect an LE to become a god. Congratulations to the second Divine Tree Master who has become a god in our Xiao organization. Miss Anil Immortal, let's Kong, what kind of ability have you awakened after you reach the realm of gods? Everyone in the Xiao organization immediately became excited, and hurriedly greeted and said, "Okay, don't be a fairy lady, I have goosebumps when I hear it." And LE scolded angrily. Subsequently, start experimenting with the effects of your skills. Thundered. 18 The thunder in the sky became a field, bombarding the opponent at will. After an LE found that every thunder light of his life contained the breath of divinity, it seemed to be as powerful as the thunder tribulation. Straight down the. This effect is almost like catastrophic damage. Ding, an LE uploaded a memory video. The members of the Xiao organization immediately saw that an LE had uploaded a file of a memory video and posted it to the group. Hurriedly opened it and checked. The terrifying image of an LE releasing the thunder light appeared in front of the members of the Xiao organization. Suddenly, all the members of the Xiao organization couldn't help but feel touched by this terrifying thunder. Xiao Chang'an was taken aback and said, "My God, Turtle, is this the power of the gods? It is simply too powerful, and it is not comparable to normal damage at all." The prodigal son sword once again made an emotional voice, "Ah." Su Qing wore monocles and tried to analyze the information on it, but the final result couldn't help but make her sigh. Alas, the attack power of Miss Anil Immortal is really terrifying. My monocle can't analyze any effective information at all. This is beyond my detection range. I'm afraid that all the monsters known in the Divine Tree world can't block Enli's full force now. Bai Yu also echoed, "Well, my white eyes can't see what kind of terrifying level this attack has reached. It seems that my bloodline talent needs to be further evolved to keep up with the level of the bigwigs in the group." Seeing that the members of the Xiao organization had made such an analysis and evaluation, an LE felt a little embarrassed, and then said, "Don't brag nonsense, isn't this just a little bigger? Are you killing me? Where is it so powerful?" The prodigal son sword couldn't help but complain, "Do you call this a little bit bigger?" Bai Yu said, "I don't know what level an LE has reached now. Is it a first-order true god?" An LE pondered for a moment, and then said with a wry smile, 600, "I just sense that my current strength is stronger than before, but I don't know exactly what level I have reached." At this moment, the members of the Xiao organization collectively looked at Lu Shu. That is, the president of the Xiao organization. Among the people present, except for Lu Shu, only an LE had reached the level of a god. Therefore, it must be right to ask the president of the Xiao organization. Lu Shu also saw that everyone was very interested in this matter. He smiled softly and said, "Unexpectedly, your progress has exceeded my expectations, and it's time for you to know some information. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 829. Chapter 829, The Way to Become a God. When Lu Shu finished saying this, the members of the Xiao organization suddenly felt shocked in their hearts, and they had a premonition that there was some amazing information, and it was about to be revealed from the mouth of this big guy again. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what information the president is going to reveal. It should be a deeper message from the Grey Realm. Our level. Now that the piece has reached the level of God, the information revealed by the president must have something to do with God, right? I'm looking forward to it. What kind of information will it be? At this moment, almost all the members of the Xiao organization had the same thoughts in their hearts, all guessing what kind of information they would hear later. Lu Shu paused, and was not ambiguous, and directly told the information he knew. With Enli's current strength, although he has reached the God-level strength of all the people in the divine tree world, the corresponding realm should be a pseudo-god. In this world, in addition to the gray realm, there is also the divine domain. But there is not only one place in the divine domain, it is divided into the kingdom of God and the heavenly palace. Based on the information I have so far, the kingdom of God and the heavenly palace don't seem to be very friendly, and the messenger of the divine domain who appeared in the video before is a god from the heavenly palace, who generally uses the great Deo inheritance to comprehend the supreme Deo in order to break through to the realm of the immortal God. At present, in order to become a true first-order true God, there are two different paths, one of which can be completed from the true God to the realm of false gods. The first method is to perceive the supreme Deo. As long as you reach the level of enlightenment, break through the limits of the exercises, and ascend to the immortal, you can become a first-order true God. The second method is the corresponding lineage, which has been certified by the Godhead. These inheritances can be the fruits of the divine tree master, or they can be the inheritance that you have found in the gray realm, left by the gods. But these ways do not make you a true God, and you are still one step away from the true God. To cross these two paths, it is not so simple, and it takes great chance and relying on one's own strength to obtain the certification of Godhead. When the members of the Xiao organization heard the news, they couldn't help but be shocked. It turns out that outside the gray realm, there is such a thing as the divine domain. Of course, they also felt that there should be heaven and earth beyond the gray world, but it was the first time they heard such a specific statement, and they couldn't help but feel shocked. At the same time, the members of the Xiao organization are becoming more and more in awe of this mysterious president. Because not only did he know the origin of the divine domain, but he could even judge the identity of the previous Luo Shui. Dark Knight and Yu Suanji glanced at each other, and became more and more affirmative of the point of view of the person who slaughtered the gods, that is, the tree man. That is, the mysterious president of the Xiao organization. Of course. Perhaps, there is a third way. But this method has not been proven, so you can also listen to it. Lu Shu smiled mysteriously and said. At this time, the members of the Xiao organization immediately cheered up. They wondered if the first two methods were so difficult, but was there a third way? Next, Lu Shu spoke. This method, that is, to find the way to the divine domain, and then attack the divine domain, there should be a high probability that you can get the way to become a god. Planting trees for all, 3 consecutive SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Immortal. Chapter 830. Chapter 830 The God-level reward of the first list. As soon as this statement came out, the members of the entire Xiao organization all showed a look of sudden realization. That's the way it is. In fact, even if Lu Shu didn't say it, the members of the Xiao organization could think of this way. The reason is simple. In the eyes of their divine tree master, everything in the gray realm can be attacked, whether it is the abyss, the ruins, the underworld, the special space, the peculiarity. Even if it's a god's domain, it's just another form of copy. Since there is a strategy, there are goals for the raiders. Then there will be something produced. The more advanced the dungeon, the stronger the items and treasures produced. Since you have come to this god-level copy of the divine domain, the props you get are naturally god-level pulls. Containing the method of becoming a god, it is not a strange thing in 037. But, although it is simple to say, everyone does not know how to lead to the divine domain. Moreover, being able to go to a place like the divine domain already means that they have reached the level of a god. This third path, while almost certainly a means of becoming a god, happens to be the most difficult. There is not even a way, let alone how to achieve it. However, at this moment, Lu Zhe released an astonishing message. Tisk, but I have a key to the divine domain. Bia. As soon as this statement came out, The members of the Xiao organization were stunned. Xiao Chang'an, my God, has the president already obtained the key to the divine domain? Su Qing, in other words, has the president actually been to the divine domain? Prodigal sword, Mom, I'm afraid that the entire Grey Realm only has the key to the divine domain in the hands of the president, right? NLE, it's worthy of being the president, it's really powerful. This news, like a thunderbolt, instantly slammed into the brains of the members of the Xiao organization. They never expected it. The president of his own family has reached such a terrifying state that he even has the key to the divine domain. It's beyond everyone's comprehension. Dark Knight and Yu Suanji glanced at each other, and they also saw an incredible color from each other's expressions. Of course, they didn't expect that the number 1 tree cultivator had already reached such a level. No wonder the tree man can be so powerful to such a terrifying realm. It turns out that he has even obtained the key to the God realm. That goddess descended to earth, shouldn't it be related to the sky? According to the information I received, when the goddess came down to earth, she said that she wanted to find a lost item in the nether. This is probably related to the key to the god's domain. Moreover, combined with what the goddess said, she said at the time that it was you, which means that the goddess and the tree man already knew each other, and it is likely that there was a dispute because of this key. At this moment, the brains of Dark Knight and Yu Suanji were extremely meticulous, and through these fragmented information, they immediately judged that there was almost a 100% chance that the tree man was the god slayer. Dark Knight and Yu Suanji couldn't help but gasp. They finally knew now why the tree man could kill the gods. He is already a god-level powerhouse. Have the key to the realm of the gods. Isn't this like having a plug-in? And at this moment, Dark Knight and Yu Suanji also realized a very critical problem. The god-level reward of the number 1 list, is it?